Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, you're recognized for your 5 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning to my colleagues. Good morning to the testifiers. Good morning to the people of the territory and staff. My first one I would like to discuss is Bill number 35-0092. That particular one has to do with the rezoning from R2 to B3 for the business/residence. For me, I want to ask about parking. This is going to be a property that is going to be a home and a business at the same time. How are you planning to lay out to accommodate for parking for the specific type of business you shared that it intends to be?
Clarence Brown, representing Mr. Leary Albert. Thanks for the question. I think that was a critical part in us trying to understand how we could use this property and if it was appropriate to try to accommodate both. So we developed a conceptual site plan. I do have it here, and it was shared as part of the application as well. And what it does show is that along the main public road, there is the parking that is for the business portion of the site. And to the rear, there's still an opportunity for us to get off-site parking for the residences. So we're able to accommodate both and still keep them separate and organized.
Okay, and in regards to the residences and the business, is this going to be one singular resident or singular business? Or, for example, will it have two homes? How do you plan on laying it out?
No, the intent is that this is a true live-work unit. So Mr. Albert will live upstairs, and on the lower floor will be his business. So it'll be a single business, a single residence. And also, I think to the previous question as well, this property has two roads. So it's a corner lot, so to speak. And so it really makes it easy to separate the residential from the commercial traffic by having the more private road being the access for the residential portions.
Excellent. I want to now move on to bill number 35-0080. That is the one with the church. It spoke to having accommodations for daycare, soup kitchen. Could someone give me an idea of how many members this church will be having? Because I want to make sure as to the size, location for fitting members of the church. Do you have any idea?
Yeah, we have about 80 members
80?
sharing two different areas.
Okay. And for those that are going to, one of the things I found out with dealing with churches, I have a great appreciation for churches, and especially those that are utilizing not only for worship, but also to help the community as well. So with some of the other things that you guys want to incorporate and do, speaking about the daycare and other types of services, are you concerned about volume of traffic to the church, or do you think that would be something would be okay and accommodated for?
No, we shouldn't be concerned about traffic. I mean, there are about 3-4 different roads you could travel
Okay.
to lead to over that area there. And there are spaces inside that probably would left there, so we're not that much concerned about the traffic because it would be cleared at any time.
Okay, thank you. And 35-0079. A lot of my concern and questions for this one had to do with flooding. As going through and listening to some of the concerns before and the accommodations for a second building, et cetera. How did you guys come up to alleviate some of those issues so that with the rebuild and an additional building, how would that be accommodated? You know, I've read through it, but also for public information to share it.
The current, Sister Emma, the current cottage sits sort of on a lower part of the property. And after we experienced the flooding,
30 seconds.
the FEMA, like the Danish FEMA, provided some funding for us to build like a swale. But even with that, we have some flooding. And so the new building will sit on a higher plane.
Okay.
So the property is 9.99 acres. So the entire building is not in a floodplain.
Okay. When it comes to the accommodations for our children with disabilities, approximately how many children will be able to be accommodated?
Time.
The current cottage could accommodate 9. Currently, we have 5. The new cottage will double the size, so we'll be able to accommodate around 16.
About 16. Just final part, staff to ratio for the children, about how much staff to maybe accommodating the maximum at 16 children do you anticipate you would need?
Would have to double the number of staffing that we have now. Currently, we could accommodate, let's say, it depends too on the needs of the children, but currently, like, we have 5 and we have like 14 staff members. So it depends. Those are highly needy children, and so, yeah, it's staff extensive.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, for the additional time, and thank you for your testimony.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heidegger, for your